Whatever is comfortable, it can be 6 to 8 feet. We call this your source star, your beginning, where you were birthed. This is monadic, it's got nothing to do with our physical equations. We are connecting with our source star and all levels of being. All levels of wholenesses of self now, please. I want you to take that disc, that vortice that you are building within the thymus room. It's brilliant. It's supposed to be a brilliant white and gold. And start to turn it, please, up towards your source star. Faster, faster, faster. You can see some of you are that it's not staying golden white. I want you to turn it fast enough that you shed that which you were not anymore, please. Lighter, lighter. You start to trigger light. Light, 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 light is all that is anyway. Light, 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 light. And you say unto yourself, I know that I can become light, for this is who I am. And I breathe deeply into the heart, into the thymus, into all my body systems. And I breathe out that which I cannot carry anymore. I breathe out the dark and the heavy, those false beliefs, those very false beliefs that are so ingrained in the totality of who I call myself. And I say, I can be true unto myself now, and I can release these parts of me that I believe forever were who I am. And this disc gets clearer and clearer and clearer as you shed these parts of you that cannot live in a 4th, 5th, 6th density. And that's what's happening, gentle ones. At no time on this earth have so much and so many given so great an attention in detail to monitoring your new electrodynamic self. Gold and white, take it up to the source itself, your source star. Identify your source star. This is where you were birthed. This is your rebirthing, gentle hearts. All of you, some of you have done rebirthing. It does no real good unless you truly understand what it is you are birthing into and what you have become. No time on earth have you had the opportunity to complete your circuitry with your God source. For you always created intermediaries. You always created others that would do it for you. And it cannot be done that way. It never could. And some of the well-meaning that you sold yourself to didn't believe that. Didn't believe, for they knew that only you were the connection with your God source. There could be no intermediaries. There can be no intermediaries except save. And accept the fact that it is you, the profound you, the I am you. And this constitutes 352 levels of self. It isn't just going into the Christ itself, to the next, between the fourth and fifth density. You can make a connection now with all aspects of self at all levels of consciousness, and these are all you. For long and for so long you believed that only you existed, and God was out there somewhere, not necessarily just, not necessarily kindly to our purposes, not necessarily listening to me with my heart that was broken, with the children dying. Life after life after life, you carry these patterns, gentle children. They must now be lifted. They must be lifted profoundly, that you know that you and only you are the creators of your reality. And that reality lives not in the past, but in the now. It's disappointing to the historian, to the archaeologist who wishes to dig to find out what his future is. If we have more than a two-strand DNA, if we have a 4 strands, if you have a 6 strand, like those from Sirius, 6 strand from Orion, you are very, very much less limited. But all of you can begin to develop 12-strand DNA, and all of the helices, these strands, connect with a chakra. They connect with a chakra. Then you become the universal consciousness. You become the monadic consciousness. And you do not need somebody up here to tell you, for the information that you get will be very, very similar to what Brian gets, what he receives. The coding will be such, and this is the highest level of consciousness, which is the intuitive self. Do you see this? The intuitive self is that consciousness that feeds you the gift of life. All of you will have a different DNA. All of you will have slightly different purposes. But all of you will be a greater part of the greater oneness that we call God. Breathe out, please. Know that we're going to be inviting all aspects of self now. Breathe very, very deeply. Don't be uncomfortable about breathing. It's a very, very important exercise. Breathe in, gentle ones, and go to the source star and bring down that huge disk. Spin it, spin it, spin it, spin it. And bring it down, down, down. Make sure everything is clear. We're inviting all aspects of self, on all 352 levels of our evolution. We know not beyond the undifferentiated source. All levels of ourself come in now, and we invite the angelic host, for they are wonderful as they review the hastening and the lightness that this planet is beginning to address. And they are your right hand. No one will leave without what used to be called the fifth initiation. It's not possible anymore. It is simply not possible to sit in this energy for 3 days and not have done what was referred to as the fifth initiation. Some of you have done more. I do not like to talk about initiations because they're profoundly limiting. But we needed some place to start, and that's what we did. Invite all aspects. There's some hesitation, gentle ones, on asking all aspects, because there are certain levels which I can see quite clearly that do not believe that this level of consciousness, this living in the molasses of the now on this planet Earth, could be a part of them. I address them now and ask them to come in, for they will complete their evolutionary spiral. It's absolutely essential for these beings who do not feel this density as them. Sandalphon, please. Please address Sandalphon, Camiel, Michael, please to address these beings who feel not that this is their destiny. See a great glow of light within the area that we call the thymus, the heart. Very good. See yourself as a group. See yourself as one massive heart, one massive light. You link with the other, the other, the other, the other. And we have great help here. Before the morning is out, you will have created a magnificent pyramidal light grid. And then energy moves very quickly. Yes? All aspects of self now, please. All your alternate realities, those realities that you said, this is what I wish to be, and put a lot of energy into. And it somehow got away from you. They did take a life on of their own in the ethers. Please look at that, gentle ones, and release only that which is not light. The past does not exist, and it cannot exist as you live in the relative now. It's too great a burden. Let us breathe out through this heart that you're beginning to create all of that having been put upon, all of that says, look at what I did over there, and I wish I hadn't done it. All of those areas of guilt, breathe them out through the heart, please. All those areas that say, oh God, why did I do that? They are not in the now, and you cannot carry them. Anything that has happened is passé. It no longer exists in a fourth, fifth, sixth dimension. Release and joy, gentle children. It's supposed to be a joyful world, not a world where you carry your burdens from the past. You don't. You can't. And this beautiful group will not do it, for now we're connecting with our God Source. And we have the tools to do this. We'll structure the DNA. We have the thymus to rebirth through. We don't need to constantly be in opposition to ourselves, to our collective selves, to the I Am, to the God Presence, to the monad, to the undifferentiated source, to all that is I Am. Simply say I am and know and have it resonate throughout one's beingness. You're going to hear more and more and more about what it is we're supposed to do with what we view of as the past. The past is an illusion. Your lives, the way they have been led third dimensionally, are illusion. Release that heavy, heavy collective burden. Breathe out. Into the heart. Think of the thymus, gentle one, and radiate out. Spin that disc. And lighten and lighten and lighten as we become. Let go, gentle ones. Breathe out. Breathe the heart, the heart, the heart, the loving heart. Heart. Let it go, gentle ones. Let it go. You become lighter, 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 lighter. This disc until it becomes light, until it becomes white and gold, white and gold, white and gold, white and gold. Cleanse away all that you cannot carry. this vertebrae. Allow this now to expand to include the whole group. The whole group. See, feel, and know that there is a oneness in all of creation. And in the final analysis, we are all a wonderment. There is nothing greater about one than there is of another. Our DNAs will show us that we are programmed slightly differently. But in the ultimate sense, there is an immense oneness once one has made their God-source connection, and no one is greater than another. I want you just to breathe in the group. You are creating that pyramid. You'll see it upright. Now the apex is in the middle of the room. Visualize it if you can't see it. And in this group, in B, I guess it's B flat if I can bring it in. Breathe it in, gentle ones. Breathe out, breathe, and cleanse for the group. For this is the group that we will travel with. And this group is representative when we go into the fifth dimension to the 160 power. So it's generally, it is billions of beings when you look at it that way. Magnify. Magnify, gentle ones. Feel the heart of the one beside you, the one beside you, the one beside you, the one beside you. Feel the collective gestalt. Feel the I am is the totality of all that is. I am, gentle ones. I am the creator. I am no less than anyone else. And I get lighter and lighter and lighter, for I am becoming. I am becoming that which I had always felt was possible. Oh, yes. Look under that pyramidal grid and see everybody in this room become one as light. Magnify the light, 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 light. Trigger the lights and light, 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 light. Everything becoming one, everything becoming light. The body, so powerful now, becoming one. Becoming one, gentle hearts. One heart, one God. The multiplicity of soul, you know that they are combined. Oh, yes. The warmth in the thymus now is all prevailing. It goes out and out and out. No, there is nothing more persuasive than the love that we carry. From a God source perspective, there is only love. We begin to see everything in the now of our creative abilities. We begin to see that we are the creators of our reality, and we can no longer give our power to others to do things for us. It doesn't work. It never has. But particularly now. Breathe out, gentle ones. You've done very well with this. It's a very, very powerful group. It's decided to join one with the other more rapidly than I have heretofore seen. And part of that is the sheer emphasis on healing this planet. This planet will not be lost. You have many, many telling you different things. And it was interesting to Brian to notice that after California, and some of you were there, after Santa Rosa, I knew as we walked away that it would not be the way we were told it would be, that the earth would break in half and the poles would shift. It wasn't that way at all. But up until that time, I could not see the vibration of earth was such that I couldn't see how it could possibly stay the way we had known it for at least 12,000 years. And you will continue to have these areas that appear more and more desperate. But its energy is very, very powerful, and if we can settle in and gently connect, preferably all of the time, with who we are, this works wonders for all of creation. This is the part that you've not yet seen, and I have seen, and a certain number among our group have seen. To make a cosmic avatar out of Sai Baba because he does this or he does that, or to make a God out of Jesus because he does this or he does that, these are lovely beings. But it is very, very much more realistic to work with a group this size as the I Am to change the world, and I have seen that over and over and over again. I ask you a question, is it not of greater significance for finite man to actually hold the etheric grid of this planet, to stabilize her, to love her, to take her into the fifth, sixth dimension, than to make a stone and call it magic? What's your magic on this planet for your being duped? Everyone that has come here, we wanted to make magicians of them, gods of them, and you will have journeys in this next very short time. you have now. From others that you will find ugly. But they will do tricks that would make Sai Baba and Jesus and Peter and many others look like they are rank amateurs. Don't fall into that one. Carry your own power. The group is the focus. The group has the energy to do what has to be done. Some of you have heard, I know many of you read a great deal about the Greys and others coming in from Orion, some from the Pleiades. But remember, these run the gambit. They run from 6-strand DNA to 10-strand DNA. And scientifically, if you want tricks, they will show you tricks. Some of them are positive and some of them are negative. Do not buy. If you want to see this, go to see David Copperfield. Don't, and yes, and that wonderful wife. I then knew he was a full-fledged magician. So don't buy into it, because you have placed yourselves in the position life after life after life after life where you were less than. So you were subjugated to someone, to the church, to the husband, to the wife, to the job, to the business. And this imprisonment is quite understandable from our position when we realize that you did all of these things in the 2-strand dimensional stance that has been here for over 250 million years. It can't be done. We will go through some of this and we'll shift your DNAs. We will shift the potential of what your scientists call junk DNA. These are finite scientists, as they all are. Their hearts are wonderful with this group, so we will make the most of it for the earth. When you realize that you are everything to begin with, that you're not in isolation, and that's so hard to see at this density. You see these little robots running around like ants, helter-skelter, meaning well, not doing what is now their potential, because they don't know how to align with what is their potential, their greatness, their sense of I am in the truest sense of the word. Breathe, gentle ones. So do this alignment for us, please. This alignment from source to earth with an aqua blue color. Source is, as we say, 6 to 8 inches, the star. And into the earth with the sandalphone. Sandalphone is a wonderful being. You can call on these any time. What was called mastery is simply a realization now Mastery was done long before Jesus, 2,000 years ago. It's been known, but it's only been known by a few. Mastery is a very small step, but it's so significant on this planet. And it's almost impossible now not to master. Mastery with the Essenes, when I was an Essene, and prior to that, there were a few who went to these privileged schools, and they were a little clearer than others. Peter knew, the group knew, because they developed their psychic abilities, which isn't something I endorse today. But in our group, we all knew Brian had been Akhenaten, and he was the same age as Jesus, so we all knew that he was the leader. They were both the same age. Jesus had this wonderful quality of being able to channel, and he did it very, very well. So whether you say he channeled the Christ or he channeled the elders, do you remember the elders? It doesn't matter. He was what we call today overshadowed. Totally overshadowed. And he did it very well. Peter had difficulty with Maitreya. He knew it wouldn't work. He'd seen this type of thing with man not work. And nary the twain shall meet, he felt. So he became a protagonist, and quite miserable because of it. I ask you, what would Christianity have done had Jesus not been crucified? There was no need for it. Anyway, we've come a long way. I don't think it seems like we have sometimes. But the avenues that are open to us now were not open to us a few years ago. And they're quite magnificent. I see them quite clearly. Some of you are starting to feel and some of you don't like these shifts because they're uncomfortable. And that part, my dear hearts, cannot be changed. I have immense sympathy for those who are going into light, who do not understand it, whose body cells are exercising a frequency that they're not used to, are vibrating at a rate that you cannot do in a physical body. This is your body of light. And if it feels a little uncomfortable, is it any wonder? The vibration increases, and some of you changing, some of you changing your hearts. The whole body is changing to coexist, to deal with the amount of light that's coming in and being integrated. So you have to change. We're changing everything. Everything within our physiology, with our chemistry changes. We're changing the DNA. You'll see more and more of this. You'll see classes like this, hopefully, or you will go out and teach classes like this. Once you know what it is that we are doing, and once you have a sense, this is the fait accompli, I can actually see this monitoring going on. I can see this heliocy become light. I can see the 3 lower chakras being raised. The 8th chakra, the soul star, has gone into the thymus. That's its place. That it needs to be. Open the crown, little one. You've got a lot of help coming in, gentle ones, please. Open up, 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 up. Open it up like a huge lotus. And through all these chakras, breathe in. We never abandon any part of our body, even the emotional body. Nothing's ever abandoned, it merges. The amoeba principle. And before we're over, the emotional body, which has been the greatest tyrant with the 2-strand DNA on this density of vibration, is brought into the heart. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of the lower astral levels no longer exist. They still exist, but they are becoming dysfunctional. They don't work anymore. And neither do man's creation, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd chakra. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd chakra. So in your beginning, call it 300 million years ago, you had a number of beings come here. Some, I guess the alts came from 60 million light years away, which were the furthest to inseminate or breed into your black race, who are the only indigenous people on this planet. And the shifts from now till then, if you came in as the Alteans with a 10-strand DNA, I want you to visualize how lucky they were to come in with 10-strand. You cannot suddenly make that kind of implementation when you know down the road you may be hundreds of thousands of years before you can utilize these beings, and then they would be as slaves. They would be slave labor. Because you may wish not to heighten their development so that you can control them. So the highest that I can see, or we can see, or I have been shown, is a 10-strand DNA, and they would have been the Alteans. And the lowest I've been able to see is 6 as far as biochemistry, as far biogenetic geneticism. And so that didn't work with the race that we had here, our own race. We simply have to recreate. There's a lot of room if you look at the DNA. There's that big part over here that is not a mutation. It housed 10 strands. And what we will do this weekend is to apply that 10 strand to our own vortex, our own centers, our own chakras, because that's where they're aligned. Your DNA is aligned with the chakras. Make sense? You nod. It might seem a little confusing, but this is what we're going to do. And I have seen it in briefly with certain beings, some of whom are in this room.